All right, so I met their CEO back while I was working at Rackspace. They were a small company then, and they've been steadily growing, and the size of customer that they've served makes them a great addition to this stage for the wisdom of the clouds to see how a company that's entering a crowded field to be able to go start taking over some of the most important web properties out there. So Jerry, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you. Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Jerry Medin, and I'm the Director of Products for AppFirst. Before I get into my presentation, I just wanted to, I was taking a few notes as other people were up here speaking this morning, and just to kind of jive with some of the things that Andy said. He was talking about Amazon and how they kind of own the cloud right now. I think that's true. I think there's other people that are gaining in that space. Microsoft's Azure. I kind of come from a Microsoft background. I was a developer that spent a lot of years working in the Microsoft stack, and Azure came out with kind of the platform as a service, and really struggled, I think, at the beginning. But they just had an article where they passed, I think it was $1 billion in revenue is what they claim. I think Amazon's at $2 billion, so they're still half the size of Amazon, which is interesting. The infrastructure as a service, if everybody doesn't know the difference between platform as a service and infrastructure as a service is essentially where you create a server in the cloud that can be, you take your software that you have today and you can basically push it out there. So if you've got SQL Server or something like that, you just push that out there directly as it is. Platform as a service means you've got to rewrite your applications. So I think a lot of companies, when they first did this, didn't want to spend the money on having to rewrite their applications. So let's see. Let me jump into the slides here. I'd like to tell you a little bit more about AppFirst and what AppFirst manages to you. Visibility to data is the key, and AppFirst gives you the visibility into your systems, applications, and processes. We build tools that provide your metrics for every server, every application, every process that is running in your environment. AppFirst history. So we've been around since about 2009. One of the reasons I really liked AppFirst is we're a real company. We built this thing on technology first, and now we're kind of ramping up our marketing and sales and getting that going. So in 3 years, we've hit 70 countries now. We've got thousands of collectors running everywhere, and we are truly big data. We collect a terabyte of data every day from around the world. Very interesting. So I want to talk to you a little bit about DevOps today. It's kind of a new world. What we're learning in DevOps is it's kind of become the focal point for answering all types of business unit questions. Support wants to have insight into systems and logs when customers call out a problem. Product management wants to know how a particular application is performing. Sales and marketing wants to know what web traffic looks like. There's lots of data out there, but how do you get answers? So traditionally, a lot of the products out there have been siloed. Everybody from business users to operations people to developers can look at their data, but they've had to use kind of individual tools that don't really give you good visibility across the platform. And once you have that data, it's not always been easy to correlate the multiple data sets. But with our product, we feel that we can correlate all the data for all users across everything. This is an interesting slide. Traditionally, we've had a lack of visibility. So you spin up servers and you don't really know what's going on. Traditional methods for fixing customer problems have been reactive. We like to think with a tool like ours, we're much more proactive. You don't want your end users coming to you and telling you that you have a problem. You want to be able to actually see what's going on. One of the previous speakers said something about, when you get into this cloud world, you're going to build a bunch of machines out there and you're not going to have any idea what's going on or what they do. That's a very accurate statement. We've heard that from our customers as well. especially in the cloud world. Okay, Amazon has tools like CloudWatch, and you can go out and you can see basic CPU and memory and disk usage and things like that. But there's so much more happening on your servers. What are your applications doing? Can I actually see what's going on with applications? So the way that our product works, basically we start with collectors. So any operating system that runs anywhere, whether it's Windows, Linux, we're soon going to have Solaris and AIX. You install our collector on those machines, and we give you visibility into what's going on. We do this at less than 1% overhead, which is great. We run on all these different machines. We even run in point-of-sale machines. So there's some Linux machines out there that are point-of-sale. There's network appliances that run that way too. And we're security friendly. So we basically phone home. We don't have to do any special configuration inside your IT departments, which they don't like. So the basic architecture for this, on the left is kind of all the data types that we collect. On the right is the product itself, which is a web browser that we've developed. And in between is where we collect all our data in our big data engine. We also use Hadoop and HBase in our middleware there. And like I said, we collect a terabyte a day right now, which is really good. We also have a REST API for third-party development. So if customers don't like our visualizations or they don't like our product that way, they can use that REST API and come in and build their own. I've got some example of customers that are doing that a little bit later on. So what kind of data do we collect? We collect basically 5 types of data right now, although we have some custom data that customers are using as well. System data is your basic CPU, your memory, your disk usage. Poll data is Nagios plugins or Windows performance counters. There's about 3,000 Nagios plugins that exist today that we can work with. Statistics counters or StatsD, if anybody's familiar with that. This is really for developers who want to instrument their code. Developers want to see what's going on with specific queues or their applications, and they can instrument their code easily with StatsD. Logs, we can do any kind of log files. So we've got text files we can do on Linux. We've got text files we can do in Windows, or we can do the Windows event logs as well. The other nice feature is we can alert on logs. So if you've got something that you're looking for, like status equals 200, you want to see what's happening in your logs, we can tell you when that's happened on every server in a single pane of glass. And then what really makes us unique is the process data, what we call miss nothing data. We see it when it happens. It's not polled like polling data. And basically the comment there is every single socket, every single process on every server. So we really try to give you that visibility into that cloud world. Let's see, StatsD. This is, if you're interested in StatsD, we think our configuration is easier and faster than with some of the open source tools. We've had customers tell us that traditional StatsD is very difficult to configure. Basically, you can get our StatsD up and running and be in our dashboard with just a few lines of code, which is very fast and a lot more efficient than setting up your own server and creating your own StatsD stack. So this talks a little bit about, we kind of see 3 different types of users in our world. So we have operations people that literally sit and look at our dashboard all day long, kind of monitor their servers, see what's going on. We have developers that need to know specifically about their applications or their queues or their database. And then we also have business users that want to look at their KPIs or key performance indicators. So these are the people that are looking for shopping cart abandonment, things like that. How many people are logging into my website? Show me my stats over the course of a month, course of a quarter, or course of a year. This is an example of one of our dashboards. Everything is heat mapped, so things that are in blue means that things are running well. Things that are red means that somebody better look at that server because something's wrong. The other thing we're discovering in this is it's not just about monitoring, it's about operational intelligence. So we have customers that come to us and say, okay, that's great, you can show me on my servers like this, but now I want to actively do something, okay? So if I've got 2 servers out at Amazon and I realize that I'm reaching peak capacity, what can you do to automatically deploy other servers? We have scripts that are available that will do that. We've also had customers that come to us and say, okay, that's great, you can show me my servers that are being heavily used. I also want to see my servers that are not being utilized. Okay, so if I have 1,000 servers in my system, show me my lowest utilized 10 servers, because I want to get rid of those. It's part of capacity planning. I want to decommission those as we go forward. So this is just some of our competitors in our world and why we think we touch on all these. So there's log data competitors like Splunk. There's business data competitors like Vibrato. There's system data competitors like Nagios and CopperEgg themselves. And New Relic on the other side over there. We think we touch on all these areas. And we feel that our technology is really disruptive. This is some of our customers. Kind of goes across the board. And these are some things that our customers are saying about us. So what's in it for me? Again, there's 3 types of users that we think we hit. We hit business users, we hit operations, and developers. Again, the business users are more concerned about KPIs. The operations people more concerned about their overall ecosystem. I need to see everything all at once. Developers are a little bit more, they're more interested in what they care about. They care about their applications, they care about their queues, they care about their databases. Okay, so there's multiple ways you can integrate with us. We have several big companies that are looking at us from different ways. We have a company right now in the financial market that has 5,000 applications that they're trying to basically track throughout their system. By the time that whole thing rolls out, it'll be approximately 40,000 servers. So to have a tool like us that you can really sort of see everything that's going on in the market, everything in their ecosystem, that really matters. They're not going to be able to go to Amazon and basically deploy everything out there. That's just not going to work. So we have customers that are looking to build data comparison tools. So what they do is they go in their lab and they collect data on their equipment, and then they want to use the cloud where they go out and collect information from their customers and then basically compare that information against what they found in the lab and then kind of show their cost analysis for that. Just last week I talked to somebody at the USGS. So they are very interested in log data that they have. They have no way to collect that right now. They do their own visualizations. So they want to use our platform in the background, basically tie into our API, and then bring that data forward to their maps. So these are just some screen visualizations. I guess we don't necessarily have to go through all these, but these are just some screenshots of our application, kind of how that works. And for some reason, the clicker's not going. There we go. So I just wanted to kind of show you some of our product there. As far as the cloud environments that we work in, I've talked about Amazon. We work there. We have a collector that's coming out in Azure over the next couple days, so that'll be available there. We work with Rackspace, we work with GoGrid, we work with on-premise servers. So again, kind of anywhere a Linux or Windows operating system runs today, and soon Solaris or AIX. We can collect all that information, bring it all together, and we can show you both your on-premise and your cloud information together in a single solution. That's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you very much to AppFirst. Please find Jerry afterwards if you want to find out, because you can. It's a solution that can be resold by any cloud, as well as something that can be embraced by an individual app. So, great job. Thank you for being a part of the inaugural BigCloud event in Minneapolis, Minnesota. We'll see you next year in March. To all of you, thank you. To our sponsors, thank you very much. Have a great night, everyone.